When it comes to leadership, there can only be room for one. So I guess that makes this, by default, number 2. Here's a look at the Jada toys. This is the Ultra Street Fighter 2, the Final Challengers P2 Player 2 M Bison. Ready for the ultimate showdown in a world where street fighting is the main event. Revisit the world of your favorite characters from the Street Fighter 2 video game, now as 1/12 scale action figures by Jada Toys. M Bison, so is that M for Master or Mike? In this case, actually, it's neither. M in this case is for measuring. What we're going to do is we're going to take the tape measure and we'll see how tall the Player 2 version of M Bison stands. Not the first time, no, in fact, that we've looked at a Jada variant of a Street Fighter figure. Last week, in fact, we also looked at a blue Guile. Now that Guile was an exclusive to Target. This version, though, of Bison is an exclusive to Big Bad Toy Store. And while I haven't had any luck to find, and while we don't have, first of all, Target stores here in Canada, this version of Bison is still readily available on BBTS. Not a shameless plug, though, at all for Big Bad Toy Store. In fact, actually, I grabbed this on the Facebook selling group from Popeye the Toy Man. Let's get things underway, though. We're going to take the tape measure and see how tall the figure stands, and we'll bring back in the original Bison and do comparisons there. This version of Bison is going to stand the same at 6 inches in height, or 16 centimeters tall. Colors aren't the only thing that's different for this comparison. The OG Bison that we've already had a look at, I've got him currently displayed with this cape. Yeah, this version of Bison also will come included with a cape. I just chose to leave it off because I'll show you the different ways of displaying the figure. One other way of displaying him also happens to be the grimmest face, which is currently on this Bison. There was also a Jada Toys, a deluxe exclusive Bison that changed, in fact, actually both the blue and the red in favor of more of a green. That figure actually had several head sculpts. Some, in fact, actually you could use for the red Bison, and he also came included with this fire attack. I would love to get my hands on that. Unfortunately, it's sold out since on Jada's site, and now it's going for some crazy, stupid this. If you have your eyes currently closed, it's money. Money. As for, though, mentioned already, here's the also. This is the Target exclusive Player 2 variant of Guile. There's been, again, several Player 2 releases, but these are the ones I currently have. I guess for his psychic powers, he likes to stick with purple. Yet, funny though enough, the psychic power that he comes included with isn't, though, the exact same purple as the red Bison. One, though, you can see is a little bit darker in color, and actually it does have more of a darker purple at the bottom, and it sort of gets progressively lighter as we get to the edge. The one that we get here, though, actually is the exclusive, doesn't have any of that. It's just all cast in one purple plastic, so it's a little bit different there. One benefit, though, at least of having 2 Bisons and having 2 fists and now having 2 psychic powers is that you can actually take both the powers and attach them onto his fists. Now, I'm probably not going to be doing this necessarily, but still just to show you, if you happen to have, again, 2 versions of this figure, you essentially now have 2 psychic powers. Now, again, the Ultra Street Fighter 2 M Bison, that was the exclusive over to Jada, did actually come included with a total of 4 interchangeable heads specifically for the green. Then he also came included with 2 additional heads for the red Bison, and he also came included as well with its psychic attack. That psychic crusher that he has, the Psycho Crusher, where basically he would fly through the character and then his opponent would just engulf in flames. That was one accessory that also came with the deluxe. Probably can see now why I wanted to get my hands on that one. As for those hands, speaking of getting your hands on things, he would certainly love to get his hands on his opponents by probably using the following hands. These hands aren't obviously going to work at all with the psychic powers. It's psycho powers. I keep calling them psychic. Removing those right now. Basically, you're just going to take these hands, grab yourself your figure, wiggle off the hand or the fist, pop that off, and replace it now with this hand. Now, I actually have a plan in mind where I might end up just keeping the red cape, or keeping the cape on the red Bison, and then having this guy sort of displayed, bend his arm, kind of more in a cross position, kind of like, but Bison's just, again, looking just really cool with his arms crossed like that. That's sort of one idea I may have in mind. Now, if that's the case, obviously I won't need those psycho powers, so I'll just probably end up attaching both of them onto the red Bison. Obviously, you'll notice right away as well that this guy's completely missing his cape and he's missing shoulder pads. I decided to do a little bit things differently this time around and show you guys actually the 2 different ways of displaying him with the shoulders. One thing that's kind of cool though about the shoulders, and I didn't really spend a whole lot of time when I did the initial review, is that the plates themselves actually have posability, where you can actually move these back and forth. If you prefer though to have the shoulders more closer to the front, you can do that, or again, you can just bring them back. As for the shoulder pads, the figure does have two options available. Starters on the side, certainly in the clamshell case, the figure did also have these shoulder pads. Now these would basically just be if you don't want to have the character displayed with his cape. How these attach though is that if you look on the underside, there's an L and there's an R. Not that it really matters, but when you put them on though, you want to put them in on an angle like that. Put them in and then snap them back. Does that make sense? So again, we'll kind of do it on this side here. So again, you put it in on an angle. So basically it just kind of hooks underneath the lip of plastic, bring it back and snap it in place. Not that I would say it survives the blizzard test as it survives the blizzard test. Not that you would be tipping it upside down, but you can see though it's strong enough of a clip that it holds the shoulders in place. I'm going to stop that before I know it's going to fall. It's going to so fall off. But again, like you can still move these back and forth. I want to interrupt my train of thought for a second. I don't know why I was doing that for my train of thought. I did also want to kind of bring this back into, I know it's always the case where I end up forgetting that these things come included with these figures as well. Of course, you get the background here for Bison's level. If you wanted to, though, you can obviously display your figure inside the box. Obviously, it's going to take up a little bit more real estate space on the sides, but that's one way of displaying the figure, so if you wish. All right, now that I met the quota of actually showing you guys what this looks like, let's move this out of the way. If you want to display, though, the figure with the cape, well, the cape basically works the exact same way. This, first of all, is a really good quality of fabric. I know I may have mentioned that in the earlier Bison review, but the quality not only looks good, nice tailoring done to the seam, but also that the cape does have a wire. The wire is so thin, it just kind of, one of the biggest things though about when you have wires in capes is if it's not sewn properly, it just ends up being bulbous. This is probably one of the more cleanest looking seam lines. The fact that it still possesses a wire inside, nice work from Jada. Yeah, so again, like if you want to swap out the shoulder pads, you basically take the one that you already have right now, pop it towards you, and they'll basically just attach it. Do the same thing on this side, pop that off. Take yourself the cape. You don't have to make the noise while you're doing that. And we're going to kind of put it on an angle, snap it in place. There's one. And obviously, not that this becomes really a tutorial, but snap the other one. Snap really is not the best word to be using. Snap sort of implies that you're breaking things, but you'll obviously hear the sound when everything snaps in place. Is it going to hold? Really am tempting fate by doing this. So again, like you can have the figure displayed with or without the cape. Being that now I have myself two versions of Bison, can't really see myself actually having both characters displayed with the cape, or for that real matter, I'm not probably going to be displaying them with the exact same head sculpts. It just sort of works this way right now, that I have completely two different head sculpts. But if you did want to change out the head, Bison does technically also come included with the same grimaced face. That deluxe version, by the way, and I keep pushing that deluxe, did also have a smiling face, so that was one thing too. I really would love to get my hands on him. Changing out the head, by the way, let's just move him out of the way. This is, by the way, the defaulted head, just sort of a kind of just more of a neutral expression, really. I think actually the coloring on his face looks really good. Just to bring the red version in so you guys can see the differences. The skin color I wouldn't say is exactly the same. In fact, actually I think the skin color works a little bit better on the blue or teal colored Bison. They seem sort of more matted, more muted certainly on the red. I think like the face is definitely painted better on the variant here. But to change out the head, all you can basically do is hold on to the torso. Hold on for dear life, whatever you do. Just pop that off the ball joint, take the new head we want to use, and plug it in place. Now, you really shouldn't have an issue. I don't know why I'm struggling so much, but that's basically what it's going to look like. That's where we came from. That's where we are now. And to show you guys again, here's the regular version of Bison. By this point now, we've basically just done all the same swaps, other than the, I guess this one just has still the closed fist, but it really is by now. Only thing that's changed is just cosmetic colors. Cape's the same. This one's a little bit more of a gray color. I don't think there would be a way to unsnap this without breaking probably the plastic. If you had any idea in mind to probably swap out the fabric color, I don't think you'd be able to do that because I think you'd probably end up breaking the shoulder pads. Okay, so for the figure's articulation, if you're familiar then with the original Bison, this pretty much just follows the same terrain. Head's going to be on the ball joint, so again, it's going to move back and forth. I want to make sure really I've got it all the way on there. There we go. That's what we needed. Head's going to move up, down, back, forth, all the way around as well. Hey, hi over there. Rotate that all the way around. Top of the torso is going to be on a ball joint, so it does what it needs to do. It also does a little bit of that down below as well in the abdomen area. So both basically you have an upper torso ball joint and a lower torso or abdomen ball joint. The arms rotate all the way around. One thing at least, though, is that you can take those shoulders and hinge them back. So it sort of help to kind of get out of the way. You may not have an easy time still to rotate the arm because it's still going to clip the back of the shoulder pad, but it does make things a little bit easier. Now, these arms also can hinge backward as well, or for that matter, you can do the opposite. You can bring them forward as well, so it looks like he's squishing your head. The arms themselves do have a bicep swivel. Yes, they do. There is also a double hinge possessed in the elbow, and the hands rotate all the way around with a hinge back and forth. For the legs, they split this far. How far? This far. The bottom of his jacket is the only thing that really is a softer plastic. Because of that, though, it does allow the figure to be able to split the legs, whether he wants that or not. 3/4 the way up the thigh. The figure does have a swivel cut in the thigh. The figure does also have a double hinge on the knee. No articulation down below, so don't try to move it, whatever you do. And then he does have the ankle pivot, up and down, and an ankle rocker. I did notice one thing, though, about this version of Bison is that he seems more forgiving in the ankles. If you have followed along the exploits, Magic Storyteller behind the camera, you'll know that I had a real tough time getting Bison to stand. This Bison to stand. What I end up usually doing now is I just kind of have his legs kind of bowed and turned out. That seems to be kind of the thing to help this guy to stand better. This Bison, on the other hand, or other foot, has no struggle at all really to stand properly. I mean, in fact, like even if you just get his legs together like this, yeah, he stands fine. I don't know why he has no problem, and yet Red Bison did. Still, though, I like the color change, and certainly it's not. If you like ices, for example, we got ourselves the cherry on the one side, the blue and more preferred flavor, blue raspberry on the other. Colors look good on the two characters. I do feel like there's a little bit more brightness to the face on the Player 2 version of Bison, where maybe the first one was a little bit more muted, a little softer on details. If you, though, prefer probably the OG colors of Bison, I'm sure you probably would just end up sticking with this one here. But there's something, though, to be said. And at least it does also help you nudge in the direction of maybe picking this figure up. He's not a hard one to find. A Big Bad Toy Store, as far as I know, still even stocks the figure. They currently have it in stock. Target exclusive would have been a little more of the harder one for me, at least, to find. But in both cases, I didn't even have to go trekking to those specific sites or stores. I ended up just going to the Facebook selling group. I got both my Bisons that way. Clearly my might was no match for his psycho powers, yet I've now picked up a second Bison. I really didn't have plans initially to do that. Of course, I could have also said I didn't have any plans at all to start collecting Jada Toy Street Fighter, and yet here we are. We're all right now, like what, almost 10 videos down of looking at Street Fighter figures. Maybe it was a little less than that, but I've gone now all in. Apparently it also includes picking up exclusives. Now, getting, though, the exclusive of this Bison isn't as hard maybe as trekking down the Blue Guile. Unless you're lucky enough to maybe find these on the Facebook selling groups. The Target exclusive Guile, you probably would either have to have, obviously, a Target store in the vicinity, or you'd also probably have to go to Target.com to pick it up. I have neither. Bison, on the other hand, at least is more readily available. As far as I still know, he's stocked on Big Bad Toy Store's site for really not that much more than the original Red Bison. So if you're looking to get your hands on a teal-colored or kind of aquamarine-colored Bison, Big Bad Toy Store, not a plug to them, still has it available. From the accessory count, you're counting the same. I mean, I don't think you're going to have to start incorporating toes, but counting at least on one hand, the figure does have swappable hands. Is that all on one hand? Swappable head, two hands, the cycle effect. I think he still has. I guess you would have to count as well the cape. Are we probably still within one hand? Anyways, the point, though, is made, and he doesn't have as many accessories, obviously, as the Jada exclusive. That had not only just the heads that belong to that figure, but also swappable smiling faces for the Red Bison. So I would love to get my hands on that. I've looked lately, though, on eBay, and he's going for crazy money. Not the kind of crazy money I really want to be investing in just yet. Maybe it might be a plan to get him eventually down the road. Right now, at least, I'm happy with the Bisons I have currently. What do you guys think of Bison? Let me know down below in the comment section. I know it's sort of experiencing that sense of deja vu. We've been there, haven't we? We've already done the review of this guy. We're looking at him again. As it certainly is the case that we've got a variant color of him, I felt it was also a good time to look at the original Bison first and foremost and follow this guy up secondly, which fittingly enough, he's the Player 2 variant. But what do you guys think of the figure? Let me know down below in the comments. And between this one and the Red Bison, which do you think is the better colored version? If you did also enjoy this video, hey, now you can do it this solid and throw it a like. You guys want to stick around for more so? I hope so. Hit the subscribe, turn on that bell. That bell, by the way, BTW, does give the reminders to YouTube that you are interested in the channel and you certainly want to see more. If you certainly do want to see more, there's going to be more videos coming your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.